Greetings students, today we will start with the topic communication system. In communication system, first we need to understand what is the communication. Communication is the act of transmission of information, act of transmission of information. Why the information is required? What is the need of communication? See, the need of communication is there because every living being in this world need information. Information about surroundings. They need to receive the information almost continuously with each other. So there is a need of communication. For communication, another important thing is the sender and the receiver both should have a common language. Common language so they can understand. The interpretation will be the very important phenomena and it should be the correct. So the common language is required. The language and method used in communication have kept evolving from prehistoric to modern times. So to meet the growing demand in terms of speed and complexity of information, we keep putting using new technologies, the new ways to promote the development in communication field. The modern communication, few scientists in modern communication, scientists work. Their work is very important. For example, J.C. Bose, F.B. Murray, the scientist Marconi, and Alexander Graham Bell. They have prepared a very decent and ground on which the new communication era can be built. In this chapter, we will try to understand the concept of communication, the mode of communication, and the need of modulation, production, and reduction of amplitude modulation. Before going further, first we need to understand the element. First we'll write the elements of communication system. We'll make a block diagram of a communication system. We have first information system. In communication system we have information source, which is a source of the message signal. Through the information source we are getting the message signal. This message signal will be sent to the transmitter. The transmitter will convert the signal into transmitted signal. A signal which can be transmitted in this given channel. After transmitter, the another important milestone is the channel, or we can call it medium, through which or we are using these channels. So the signal will be transmitted into, my apologies, we are using these channels, so our signal will be transmitted to the receiver channels or the medium. The channel or medium through which the transmitted signal now become the received signal. It will be received by the receiver. the receiver will convert the signal into the message signal, and this message signal will be delivered to the user of information. In this entire setup, the three elements of communication system are: the first one is transmitter, the second one is channel or the medium, and third important one is the receiver. These are the three elements of a communication system. This is the communication system. Once this diagram is clear, we'll explain it again to you. See, the information will be generated at information source. Now the message signal will be converted in by the transmitter into transmitter signal in such a way that it can be moved, it can propagate or it can transmit over a given channel or the medium. Okay, and it will be received by the receiver as a received signal. The receiver will convert it into a useful message, okay, or it will interpret it in such a way that it can be understood by the user of the information. So this is the entire communication system in which these three: the transmitter, which is converting message signal into transmitted signal, the channel through which the transmitted the signal will be transmitted, and the receiver who is receiving the signal and again converting it into a meaningful message for the user. So these three are the very important blocks or the elements of communication. The basic mode of communication are of two types, which we need to understand over here. The basic mode of communication of communication are of two types. The first one is point-to-point communication. Example of point-to-point communication is telephone or the telephony communication. That means there is a single transmitter or a single receiver. A single transmitter or a single receiver. The another mode of communication is broadcast. Example, radio. Here the transmitter is single and the large number of receivers are there. Large number of. Once we understand the elements, in next class we will understand about the basic terminology used in electronic communication system, the bandwidth of signals and bandwidth of transmission medium, followed by propagation of electromagnetic wave, in which we will study ground wave, sky wave, space wave, and in last we will study about modulation and necessity. Thank you.